Triple-doubles are the most of any player 21 or younger in NBA history. Earlier,
All right, guys, what's up? J2K back in the business, guys, up for another video. One we're going to go over today is on First Take. Stephen A. Smith, as you can see right here, thinks Jayson Tatum, not Luka Doncic, will become the NBA's best player. First of all, let's hear what Stephen A. goes into this. Originally, whenever I first saw this initially, that's not the case at all. If you're looking at the top 5 players in the NBA currently today for this season, pre-coronavirus, you had Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, but since they were injured, we're not going to put them in the list. But number 1, you had LeBron James. You had Antetokounmpo up in the mixes there as well. Both of them fighting out with Kawhi Leonard, who just won his second Finals MVP. And then back with the 4th and 5th spot, you got to put Luka Doncic and James Harden up in the mix. Jayson Tatum is not even top 10, not even in that mix right there. I believe Jayson Tatum is probably around top 15, top 20. I would actually have to think a little more on the list and depth within that. But let's see what Stephen A. says prior to this right here.
the only players in NBA history with 2,500 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists before turning 21.
Deep three, hit it!
Player number 8, Mavericks guard Luka Doncic.
Will he ever become the best player in the NBA?
He has a real good shot. You know, I would still say Zion because Zion is, his athletic ability is just different. And Zion doesn't even shoot it yet. And he's a baby, and he's already better than just a run-of-the-mill all-star. But Luka's also a baby. He's 20 years old, and he's an MVP candidate. And by the way, he's not really shooting it yet. It's not like you can look at Luka and say there's nowhere to go. He looks like he's going to be a better shooter than the numbers say so far. That sometimes happens with high volume, high usage, very young players. You can see they can shoot, but the shooting percentage doesn't always reflect it.
Real quickly, so Max Kellerman says Luka Doncic will be the best player in the NBA. I can see that in the foreseeable future. If you say at least 3 to 4 years from now, definitely that is the case. With these next 3 years, it's going to be LeBron. LeBron's probably going to have another 1-2 great seasons of being the best player. And then after that, you're going to have Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's going to take over on the throne and the crown. But with Luka, this is something to where I could see the Dallas Mavericks and him performing well in the playoffs year after year. And we'll get a finals or 2 appearance within the next 4 to 6 or 7 years. But whenever we're looking at Luka Doncic, him against Zion Williamson, Zion, this is something we need to see more of his game, see if he actually is that franchise player to be a number 1 option. Within him, he does have a built frame of being 6'6", 6'7", but as a 4 slot, and he plays off the ball. So this is something to where he's more of a, and hear me out, more of a role player type-esque, but a star capability, a star leveraging as well as his athleticism. So this is something to where I can see Zion Williamson down the road becoming a top 5 player in the NBA for sure. But we're looking in the near future right here, Luka Doncic, and he's already proven within his second season in the NBA to be top 3 in the MVP race.
But Luka looks like and is putting up the numbers, and his team is winning already, even without Porzingis really at full steam yet. Looks like an MVP, team-carrying championship player. And given his age, you would think he's going to spend some years at some point as the best player in the game.
Well, first of all, I can't, summarily dismiss that. Luka Doncic is the real deal, no question about it. And talking to Rick Carlisle, he raves about this guy and said one of the greatest genius moves he's ever done is simply stop being stupid and give this man the basketball. In February of his rookie year, he said, "What the hell am I doing? This is the point guard for the squad." And as a result,
Real quickly, not to digress too much, but yeah, last season you had Dennis Smith Jr. running the point guard with Luka Doncic. This is something to where I thought they can grow as a duo in the future, but as we've seen here, letting go of Dennis Smith Jr. was the best move for the Mavericks. You need to put the ball in Luka's hands. He kind of runs a James Harden, LeBron James kind of type of flow to where he'll bring up the ball even as a combo guard. But the thing that differs from Luka and those other players is he moves the ball around. He'll work off for the hockey assists, more of a team implemented European style of play, which overseas playing from 16 years old and above, he's definitely been playing against grown men and implementing in that game. So this is something we can see the Mavericks players are pretty much surprising in the league, but as well as they are taking an advantage and growing exponentially. You know, we have guys like Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell, your players like that on the Mavericks, to where they're growing and they're getting more leverage. You know, their overalls are going up. This is something to where it goes with Luka. People like to play with players like to play with Luka. Fans love to see because it's a beautiful brand of basketball, and that's a great thing within Luka. He can bring in, draw in some free agents, some role players. Very excited for the future for the Mavericks.
We understand that. But I'm leaning towards Jayson Tatum. I'm just a huge Jayson Tatum fan. He's about 3 inches taller than 2 to 3 inches taller than Luka Doncic. He's clearly a much better defender. He's averaging nearly 20 points on nearly 45% shooting and nearly 40% shooting from three-point range, which is considerably better than the three-point shooting of Luka. We like to see those step-back threes that he is hitting. But nevertheless, he doesn't shoot with the degree of accuracy that Jayson Tatum shoots with from long range.
I got to give the cat Jayson Tatum some credit. Last season, you know, he was performing and training with Kobe Bryant as a mentor, and with him as being a mentor for him. We've seen the translation of Jayson Tatum into the NBA, but the thing is he was being inefficient, taking a lot of fadeaway contested jumpers, hitting around 40% or lower within his shots, around in that range. But within his third season, the 2020 season, he has picked up drastically to where he has been an all-star this season. He's been playing in a better system without Kyrie Irving. Now you put in Kemba Walker as your point guard. More of a team-centric ball handling style, ball movement. Back into the 2018 playoffs, whenever we had the Boston Celtics, when Kyrie was injured with Gordon Hayward, it was more of a ball-centric, pass the ball, work the Brad Stevens system to where you can have young players shine. And the same thing that's been taking place in 2020. But overall, guys, when you look at Jayson Tatum and Luka Doncic, Luka's on another level right now.
And I just look at Jayson Tatum and what he's asked to do and how he's just 22 years of age. Just 22. He's got a handle. He's got a shot. He can go to the hole. He can finish at the basket. Plus, he can defend. I love what I see from Zion. I love what I see from Luka. Both of those candidates clearly have the potential. But I got news for you. It would be a mistake to omit Jayson Tatum from this conversation. He is right there, and he can overtake anybody. He's got that kind of skill.
I disagree. He's not right there. Luka's on another level when it comes to Jayson Tatum. If we were to have the discussion of who would be the next greatest basketball player living in the world in the NBA in the next 2-3 years or so, first people are going to think to mind Giannis, Luka. That's pretty much it. Maybe you may throw in LeBron, you know, depending on how LeBron's still in the league or not. But definitely those would be the top three. Everyone else is just kind of middling in the air. Jayson Tatum's on that tier 2 level. He's not on a tier 1.
Kind of length, that kind of athleticism, that kind of defensive prowess as well. He's got the package, man. He's something special.
Listen, I'm a big Tatum fan as well. A couple of years ago on this show, I was saying I think he could be the primary offensive option on a championship team. I thought that one of the reasons getting Kyrie out, bringing Kemba Walker in was good, is because maybe they could focus on Tatum more as the primary option. And I see Tatum as maybe eventually an MVP type of candidate. As I said, primary option on a championship team. So that's like just about as good as it gets. But I do think that there's a level above that. Zion is different athletically. And though Tatum does certain things better than Luka, Luka's younger than Tatum by like a year and a half. And he's outperforming him so far. But Luka is putting up he's like within spitting distance of a triple.
Man, I swear Stephen A. Smith just argues to argue. I agree with Max Kellerman right here. We already see Luka Doncic is already an MVP candidate player in his second season. Jayson Tatum's not even on that realm when it comes to Luka Doncic right here. But overall, I mean, we can tell Luka, he's going to be consistent when it comes to his basketball, his game plan, and within that, he's still going to grow and grow. Only being just turning 21 years old, nothing but success for Luka Doncic and his work ethic.
30 points. But Stephen A, he's doing it in the Western Conference for a team that's winning a lot more than it's losing. And his second banana, Porzingis, he's turned Porzingis into a second banana, isn't fully healthy yet. I just think that when you watch Luka play, you get the sense that you're watching a genius. Like when you watch Magic or Bird, like there was something just different about the way they saw the game, and I feel that way about Luka, not to mention the swagger and the confidence. If I had to order those three, maybe I go Zion 1, Luka 2, but that's really close, and then Tatum 3.
When it comes to my list, I would probably go with Luka number 1, Zion 2, Jayson Tatum number 3. There's more potential when it comes to Zion and his gameplay. Zion's been taking over the league pretty much in his last 20 games he's been playing. Not taking over the league by storm by winning all, but just showing the dominance when it comes to him. Jayson Tatum, he's pretty much inefficient here or there. He's a great player, scorer. When it comes to Luka, this man's just like what Max Kellerman said. He's a genius on the court, like a LeBron, Magic Johnson type S, Steve Nash, James Harden, and he has the sky's the limit when it comes to Luka. Very crafty. He's like a wizard on the floor. But overall, guys, I don't know what Stephen A is talking about. Not Jayson Tatum. Mad respect for the brother, but when it comes to Luka Doncic, he's going to take the world pretty much out. I could see him winning around 2 championships, probably 2 or 3 MVPs. But let's just see how the season plays out with the Mavericks in the first round.